On the one hand, domestic e-payments have grown exponentially over the past 15, 20 years within Asia, especially in developing and emerging economies like Cambodia, Laos, or Philippines. And that has really enabled the growth of smaller businesses in those domestic markets who, on a daily basis use, payment apps. However, the same cannot be said about cross-border e-payments.
This paper is more directed towards especially integrating Asia and how they're using AI also in Asia for the global supply chain. For example, they've got the I4 and WWF are working together with 34 different companies on the sort of social media and e-commerce platforms to try and use AI in a way of picking up where people use code words or things like that, where they're selling, wildlife.
And we basically unpack the so-called goodness of tech solutionism, which we are now becoming more and more increasingly aware that it cannot be the solution to sustainable change.
Our approach to studying disinformation using media systems is highly contingent on the contemporary political context.
Is the role of a media system approach to understanding, first, why societies are vulnerable to disinformation.
We need a deeper level of institutional reform or a deeper level of institutional awareness to see the roots of the disinformation problem.
My paper is looking at the key enabling factors for effective citizen participation in the digital space provided by the government, or what we call e-invited space. The paper argues that there are two main types of interactions happen in this digital space. One is technical interaction and another is social interactions.
My paper was basically based on my research on how ground-up initiatives in Southeast Asia use technology and social media to tackle the challenges of COVID-19 misinformation. In my paper, technologically savvy ground-up initiatives in Southeast Asia has been shown to be able to lend a credible voice to point people to verified information during the pandemic.
It's been over a year now. There have been many iterations and many contact tracing applications that have been released, and I think there is starting to be a framework that has emerged for what constitutes a privacy-preserving contact tracing application.
One of the key trends that we see in the near future is, of course, the rapid development of digitalization. Perhaps not on the technical side, but rather on its impact in the society and how then the regulatory framework can be developed to safeguard the society.
Where most governments in the region have sort of all of a sudden realized that there's this huge area of the digital economy that they have not been able to tap or to extract revenue from or to tax. And what we find is that there is no common approach, and that every country approaches eligibility or thresholds for different types of indirect and direct taxation differently, which has transformed the whole region in a very fragmented environment.